Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys a full week of vegan breakfast that I had during the week. And since I'm an absolute lover of breakfast, as I'm sure you may all know, I thought I'd share with you guys my breakfast that I had during this particular week. So to start the week, I tried something fun. I tried the pancake cereal TikTok trend, but made them high protein and placed some LOTUS biscuits inside to put my own spin on it. For this I used 200 ml of almond milk, some lemon juice, as well as some salt and some baking powder. I then used 5 grams of chia seeds, 5 grams of melted coconut oil, and whisked that all together. I then placed in 6 grams of flour, 30 grams of protein powder, and some sweetener, and whisked that all together as well. I then crumbled up 1 biscuit of LOTUS, and then blended that all together. I do recommend actually using a electrical blender and to place it into this tube, which allows you to form the most perfect mini cute pancakes. I did find out that not using a blender is a bad idea because otherwise it gets clogged up. So I highly recommend a blender. Then I placed the mixture onto the pan and made the cutest little pancakes ever. Quite questionable about how extra this breakfast is and how much effort it took, but you know your girl is well into breakfast, so it was well worth it. Once I cooked a whole batch of mini pancakes, I placed them in a bowl and poured on some almond milk, and then placed a LOTUS biscuit on top as well. On Tuesday, I decided to make French toast sticks, and to make the French toast batter, I used 200 ml of almond milk, 15 grams of protein powder, 15 grams of chickpea flour, 5 ml of agave nectar, and some cinnamon, and then I mixed the mixture together. I then placed it in a container. Cut 3 slices of small pieces of bread into sticks. Made the cinnamon sugar by combining sweetener with some cinnamon, and then rolled the breadsticks into the French toast batter, and then following by the cinnamon sugar. I repeated that process and then placed them in a non-stick frying pan to fry on each side. I didn't use any oil, that's quite optional, but this non-stick frying pan which I use is really good. I then drizzled in some sugar-free syrup in a small little pot. And then assembled my French toast sticks together. You can choose to use whatever dip you like. I chose to have this sugar-free syrup, but you can no doubtly use LOTUS spread, chocolate spread, and any sort of spread you like. I then put some toppings on, which were just strawberries and blueberries, my favourite kind of berries. On Wednesday, I felt quite crafty and went with the TikTok trend but waffle form. I used 200 ml of almond milk, some lemon juice, baking powder and salt, 5 grams of coconut oil and chia seeds, 60 grams of flour, 30 grams of this new vegan protein blend, blueberry and cinnamon flavour, some sweetener, whisk that all together, and then place some blueberries inside as well. I then, after this whisking, placed it in a blender and got my waffle griddle to place them on the griddle to cook. I followed that by placing the mini waffles into a bowl, placed some extra blueberries on top and drizzled on some almond milk. I really did enjoy the milkiness with the soft waffles and I do recommend you give it a go. I then jazzed it up with 15 grams / 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. And then drizzled on some sugar-free syrup for that extra sweetness. On Thursday, I used a recipe from my ebook. It was my protein berry crumble. I'll leave the link in the description box. To make the berry crumble, I placed in 150 grams of frozen berries with 5 grams of chia seeds and some water. And I left that to stew in a pot until all the berries were stewed down and the chia seeds absorbed the liquid. You may have to sieve out some liquid halfway as well, just to thicken up the mixture. To make the protein crumble, I used 35 grams of rolled oats, 10 grams of grounded almonds, 20 grams of protein powder, some cinnamon, 5 ml of agave nectar, along with some lemon juice and 5 grams of melted coconut oil, and then placed a little bit of water inside as well, just to mix it all up and become a little crumble. I then got a little skillet, but alternatively you can just use a bowl or a baking pan. Then I placed the jam inside the skillet, and then place the crumbled on top as well. I then drizzled on some sugar-free syrup along with some cinnamon, and then placed that in the oven to bake for 20 minutes. To finish the crumble, I drizzled it with one of my faves, the Alpro Vanilla Custard, and that was my breakfast for Thursday. Good morning guys, and welcome to Friday. So this morning I went on the treadmill as I usually do for half an hour when I have a day off of work. I've got a day off of work today because it's a bank holiday weekend. I then got ready for the day. I did all this just so that it could be much lighter when I'm filming for you guys today, rather than it being dark, because I usually wake up at 5 and it's not so bright as it is right now. But currently I'm going to be making breakfast. Obviously the week of breakfast, and it's reached Friday. That's why I'm going to be making some pancakes, because what is better on a Friday than a stack of pancakes? But I'm actually going to be making a different kind of pancake. I'm going to be making a vegan souffle pancake stack, because I shared on my Instagram, if you saw on there already, if you follow me, these mini souffle pancakes, and they actually turned out really well. So I thought I'd be an adult today and try out the adult vegan pancake souffles. So I'm gonna give it a go, see if it turns out well. They're gonna be matcha flavored, and I'm gonna be topping them with a lot of love. So we'll see how it turns out. So to start off with, all you just need to get yourself is a little measuring jug or a little bowl to mix all the ingredients in with. Then you'll need to start with the first ingredient, which is just going to be 150 ml of almond milk. So I'm just going to plonk that in there like this. And then in with that, you just want to combine some lemon juice, just a little squirt. You can use some fresh lemon, but it's so much easier using it from the bottle, so that's what I usually do. And then you also just want to combine that with some baking powder and of course salt. And that just all reacts together to be able for the vegan souffle pancakes to rise. Then you'll need to get your dry ingredients, which is going to be 60 grams of flour. Now I don't recommend coconut or almond, but I do recommend any other kind of flour, such as plain flour, which this is, spelt flour, which is what I usually use, buckwheat flour, gluten-free flour, self-raising flour, and all those kinds. So I'm going to plonk that in there. And then you want to get your matcha protein powder, or you can just use a vanilla protein powder and combine some matcha powder inside, and that's going to make it matcha flavored. Alternatively, you can make the pancakes a different flavor, such as chocolate, but I'm going to go with matcha today. So I'm going to place in 30 grams / 1 scoop of the protein powder in there. Then you just want to get some sort of sweetener. You can use agave syrup, sugar-free syrup. I'm going to go with this sugar-free sweetener by Naturally Living. And I'm just going to do like a little rough estimate because they've got no calories in them. So we'll just go like that. That looks like enough. And then finally, you just want to add 5 grams of melted coconut oil, just like that. Once you've got all your bits and bobs in the measuring jug or your bowl, you just want to give it a stir. And it should reach like this kind of thick consistency. I wouldn't suggest using a whey protein powder because whey protein powder has a different sort of consistency to soy isolate or any other kind of vegan blend protein powder. So the mixture would end up being more liquidy if you do use a whey protein powder, and in that case I would just suggest you use more protein powder than the recipe asks. Okay, so the next step is obviously to start cooking the mixture. And you just want to get yourself a really good non-stick pan, or line your baking pan with a little bit of oil and then wipe the surface down just so that it becomes non-stick. It creates that non-stick layer. But I just made these like little souffle circles, as you can see, which I'll leave a little clip in now. I'll insert it here on how I made those quickly. So all I did was fold up some foil and it ended up turning out like this. And then I wrapped the foil around this little pot here to form the shape of the souffle pancakes. And then I made these little rings, which I'm going to place on the pan. Are we back in the room? Did you see how we made those? Pretty easy. Nifty stuff. I just thought of it and I went with it, but alternatively, if you've got like a cookie cutter or something like that and it doesn't stick to the lining of it, because the great thing about this is that you can cut it, but if you have a cookie cutter and it's non-stick like I said, you can use that as well. So I'm just going to pour the mixture into the pan, and then I'm going to cover it over with a lid, and that's going to allow the mixture to rise. So you just want to make sure that they're equally distributed between the two circles. I've only done 2 because I really want them to be thick, and then that allows enough batter to be in each of them. But I'm going to be placing the lids over, just like I said. I'm going to allow that to cook for around, I'd say, 10 to 15 minutes for them to be able to rise, and we'll see what it looks like afterwards. Okay, so once they've risen to nearly the top, you just want to flip them over so that they're able to cook on the other side. So that's how it should look on one side, and now it's cooking on the other. And I'm just going to do the same for this one by picking it up, get my little spatula here, and whipping it over to the other side to allow it to cook. Just like that. You then just want to cut the foil or take the cookie cutter off in your case if you're using a cookie cutter, and then just peel around the edges just like that. It can be quite fiddly, but you'll get there in the end. So I'm pretty impressed with actually how they turned out. I mean, I don't know about you, but they look quite good and quite like souffle pancakes. So we are now going to sort out this angle and put some toppings on top. For my matcha souffle protein pancakes, I topped it with 1 scoop of scoopable acai berry ice cream, and then I also placed on top some goji berries and figs with some sugar-free syrup on top as well. The weather was really nice, so I decided to have an acai smoothie bowl, which I haven't had for a while, so I was really craving it. For the base, I used 100 grams of frozen banana, 100 grams of frozen cauliflower, 100 grams of frozen mixed berries, along with 1 sachet of acai berry pulp. And then I poured in a little bit of water with 20 grams of protein powder. And then I blended it up in my blender, which I'll leave in the description box down below. But the initial trick is to use the smallest amount of water that your blender allows, just so that you can create a thicker smoothie bowl rather than a runny smoothie bowl that you're able to drink. Then the best part to a smoothie bowl, I assembled my toppings, which I used some LOTUS spread, goji berries, granola, and my favourite berries on top. Okay, so this is what it actually looks like after I've taken a picture for the gram. Yeah. On Sunday, I fancied something quite basic, but something quite different at the same time. It was just a yogurt cookie dough. So I used 200 grams of unsweetened soy yogurt, and then mixed that in with 30 grams of vanilla soy isolate, with some Acai gum, and this is just going to thicken it up. I whisk that together with a hand whisk to make some protein fluff. And to make the cookie dough, I used a baked chocolate chip cookie by My Vegan. I'll leave the link in my bio with a discount code, and then place that in the microwave for 20 seconds. This softened the cookie so that I was able to roll it into smaller formed balls. And then I mix that in with the yogurt. And then place some peanut butter on top as well. And finished off with the remaining cookie dough balls. I then finished it with some sugar-free syrup, and that was my last breakfast of the week. Hey everyone, so I just finished Sunday's breakfast, but I just wanted to jump on here real quick to say a massive thank you for 10k subs. I can't believe there's over 10.5k of you already. It means the world. To celebrate that, I'm going to be doing a giveaway with My Protein. We're giving away a £50 voucher, and to enter this giveaway all you have to do is recreate one of the recipes and share it on Instagram with the hashtag Layla's Breakfast. Next week I will be picking a winner and announcing it on my Instagram. So please let me know if you do give this recipe a go, and good luck in that competition. Thank you for watching this week's video. I hope you really enjoyed it. Give it a big thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!